My girlfriend invited her male bestie to our anniversary dinner. He ordered the most expensive wine on my tab, while they laughed about old times. I excused myself to the bathroom, paid my share only, and left through the back door. Her 50 missed calls started when the bill arrived. I, 29 male, had been with my girlfriend 27 for 2 years. Everything was decent until her best friend, 28, moved back to town about 6 months ago. So last night was our 2-year anniversary. I'd made reservations at this upscale steakhouse, not crazy expensive but nice. The kind of place where you wear a button down and they have cloth napkins. Spent 3 weeks planning it. The morning of, my girlfriend drops this on me. Hey babe, my best friend just got back from a work trip and I haven't seen him in forever. I invited him to join us tonight. You don't mind, right? I minded. A lot. But she had this way of making me feel like a jerk for having boundaries. It's our anniversary dinner, I said. I know, but he's only in town for a few days and you two should get to know each other better anyway. Come on, don't be like that. Red flag? Massive. But I let it slide because apparently I'm an idiot. We get to the restaurant at 7 p.m. He's already there, sitting at our table. My reservation. Already ordered himself a cocktail on my tab. The dinner was something else. First, they spent 20 minutes catching up like I wasn't even there. Inside jokes. Remember when we did this? Oh my God, remember that? I'm just sitting there like a potted plant. I tried to steer the conversation toward, our anniversary. So babe, remember our first date when her best friend cut me off? Dude, you gotta hear this story about sophomore year. So we're at this party and and off they went again. Then came the ordering. I ordered a steak, she got salmon. Reasonable. Her best friend starts asking the waiter about the wine list. What's your most premium red? Something really special. The waiter recommends a bottle. $340. I almost choked on my water. Her best friend grins. Perfect. We'll take it. We're celebrating after all. My celebration. My reservation. My credit card on file. I looked at my girlfriend. She just smiled and nodded. That sounds amazing. They poured 3 glasses. Made a toast. To old friends and new memories. Not to us. Not to 2 years. To old friends. I excused myself to use the bathroom. Took my phone, stood in the stall and did some quick math. My meal, $45, her meal, $38, his meal, $62. Of course he ordered the lobster tail add-on. My drinks, $12, her drinks, $15, his drinks, $31. My portion of wine, 113 yids. Tax and tip, roughly $42 for my share. Came out to about $260 for my portion. Went to the bar, flagged down a different server. Hey, I need to pay for my portion of table 12 separately. Can you split it? She looked confused, but did it. I paid cash. $260 plus an extra $40 tip for her trouble. Then I walked out the back entrance by the kitchen, got in my car and drove home. Turned my phone off for a bit, needed the silence. Turned it back on an hour later. 82 missed calls, 156 texts from her. Where did you go? This isn't funny. The bill came and they said you already paid your part only? Are you serious right now? You left me here with a $400 plus bill. Answer your phone. This is so embarrassing. I had to call my mom to help pay. We're done. From her best friend, real mature bro. You made her cry in public? What kind of man does this? She deserves better than you. I replied to her only. You invited someone to our anniversary dinner. He ordered $340 wine without asking me. You both ignored me all night. I paid for my food. Figure out the rest. Then I blocked her best friend and went to bed. This morning she showed up at my apartment. We need to talk apparently. Update 1. 2 days later. Thanks for all the comments. Yeah, I know I should have just left her months ago. Hindsight's 2020. So she showed up at my apartment the morning after. I let her in because we needed to have this conversation eventually. She came in swinging. How could you humiliate me like that? In front of him? In front of everyone? It's our anniversary. Why was he even there? He's my best friend. You're supposed to be okay with that. Best friends don't crash anniversary dinners and order $340 wine on someone else's dime. She switched tactics. Started crying. You left me there. I had to call my mom. Do you know how embarrassing that was? You know what was embarrassing? Being a third wheel at my own anniversary dinner. You're being ridiculous. He was just excited to celebrate with us. Celebrate what? Your 2 years with him? Because it sure wasn't about us. That's when she dropped the real bomb. Maybe if you weren't so insecure, you could handle me having male friends. This is why we don't work. You're jealous and controlling. Controlling. Because I didn't want to fund her reunion dinner with another dude. Get out, I said. Excuse me? We're done. Take your stuff and leave. She laughed, actually laughed. You're breaking up with me? After what you did? Yep, you've got until Sunday to get your things. She stormed out, called me every name in the book on her way down the hall. Here's the thing though, we live together. Well, sort of. It's my apartment, my lease, but she'd been staying here most nights for the past year. Kept a lot of her stuff here. Saturday morning she showed up with her best friend and her sister. I'd already boxed up most of her stuff, clothes, toiletries, books, whatever. Her best friend had the audacity to speak first. Look man, we got off on the wrong foot, let's talk this out. There's nothing to talk about, here's her stuff. My girlfriend pushed past him. Where's my speaker? In that box. My posters. That box. Then she went to my bedroom. Where's the signed vinyl collection? My stomach dropped. See, I collect signed vinyl records. Started in college. Have about 30 now. Some worth decent money. My most prized one is a signed pressing from this indie band that broke up years ago. Only 100 copies exist. Got it signed at their last show ever. I kept them on a shelf in my bedroom. Past tense. Where are they? She demanded. I checked the shelf. Empty. Did you take them? She shrugged. I helped you store them last month when we were cleaning. Must have forgotten where I put them. Bull, she knew exactly where they were. You took my vinyl collection? I helped you store them. Not my fault you don't remember where. Her sister jumped in. Look, emotions are high. I'm sure they'll turn up, right sis? My girlfriend just stared at me with this cold smile. That's when I realized she took them before the anniversary dinner. Probably after I mentioned making reservations. This was planned. You have 24 hours to return them, I said, or I'm filing a police report for theft. She laughed. Good luck proving I took anything. This is what you get for humiliating me. They left with her boxes. The vinyl collection worth roughly $4,000 total? Gone. I called the police non-emergency line. They said without proof she took them, it's a civil matter. I'd have to sue her in small claims court. Great, but I'm not stupid. I documented everything. Photos of the shelf with the records before. I post about my collection online sometimes. Photos of the empty shelf now. Screenshots of our texts where she mentions helping me organize them last month. Also called my renter's insurance. They said I'm covered for theft, but I need a police report first. Catch 22. Found a lawyer who does free consultations. Appointment is Tuesday. Meanwhile, she's been texting me from her sister's phone. I blocked her main number. You really calling the cops over some records? Psycho. They're probably in storage somewhere you forgot about. This is harassment. My friend is a lawyer, Babu. He says you have no case. Sure he is. And I'm sure he went to law school at the same place her best friend learned manners. Update 2. 1 week later. The lawyer consultation was interesting. Turns out I have a decent case, but it's going to be expensive and time-consuming. Small claims court tops out at $10,000 in my state, so at least I can sue for the full value. But here's where it gets good. Remember how she was so smug about taking the records? Yeah, she messed up. I have a podcast. Nothing huge, maybe 300 regular listeners. I talk about music, review albums, interview local musicians. And in several episodes I've shown my vinyl collection, including that rare signed pressing. One of my listeners is a property lawyer. He reached out. Hey man, heard your situation. You have video evidence of the collection in your possession dated with timestamps. That's pretty solid proof of ownership. Also, if she admitted via text to storing them, that's admission of access. Document everything. I went back through my episodes. Sure enough, there's clear footage of the collection on my shelf. Dated episodes from as recent as 3 weeks ago. Sent it all to my lawyer. He loved it. This is better than most theft cases I see. File the police report again with this evidence. Did that. This time, the officer actually listened. Said they'd follow up with her. 2 days later, she's blowing up her sister's phone trying to reach me. The cops came to my work. This is harassment. You're ruining my life over some stupid records. I'll give them back if you drop this. I replied through my lawyer. Return the full collection in the condition it was taken. Provide proof via photo, within 24 hours. Then we'll discuss dropping the report. Radio silence. Then her best friend messages me on Instagram. I forgot to block him there. Yo man, this is getting out of hand. She's really stressed. She doesn't even know where half of them are. Some might have gotten damaged in storage. Just drop this and move on. Damaged. In storage. So she did take them. Screenshot sent to my lawyer. He just admitted she has them and implied damage, my lawyer said. Beautiful. We can add damages to the suit now. Filed the small claims paperwork. Cost me $85 to file. Suing for $6,500. Estimated value based on market prices for the collection, plus documented sentimental value for the rare pressing, plus filing fees. She got served at her work. Her sister called me screaming about how I'm destroying her life and it's just some records. Just some records. Right. Her mom got involved. Left me a voicemail. I raised her better than this and I'm disappointed in both of you. But you need to drop this legal nonsense. Work it out like adults. Texted back. I tried to work it out. I gave her 24 hours to return them. She refused and her friend admitted they're damaged. This is the adult way to handle theft. Here's the petty part I'm not proud of. I made a podcast episode about the whole thing. Didn't name her, but laid out what happened. The anniversary dinner. The missing collection. The legal process. It blew up. Went from 300 listeners to 5,000 plus downloads. People were pissed on my behalf. Someone tagged her workplace on social media. Not me, I swear. They're a nonprofit that works with youth programs. Having an employee accused of theft wasn't a good look. She got put on administrative leave pending investigation of personal matters. Now she's really spiraling. Her best friend messaged me again. Dude, you need to stop this. She lost her job because of you. Over what? Some records? Be a man and let it go. I replied, she lost her job because she stole $4,000 worth of property and refused to return it. Actions have consequences. Tell her to return my collection or see me in court. Blocked him again. Court date is in 3 weeks. Final update, 1 month later. Court was yesterday. Time to wrap this up. Leading up to the court date, her family kept trying to pressure me to drop it. Her mom, her sister, even her dad called me. Her dad's approach was different. Look, son, I get you're upset, but is this really worth destroying her career over? She made a mistake. She stole from me and refused to give it back for weeks. Then her friend admitted the collection was damaged. That's not a mistake, that's a choice. What do you want here? The records back? I want my property returned in the condition it was taken, or compensation for the full value plus damages. He sighed. I'll talk to her. 2 days before court, I got a text from her sister's phone. She found 18 of the records. Some are scratched. Some cases are cracked. That's all she has. Take it or leave it. 18 out of 30, including 0 rare pressings. Where are the other 12? Specifically, where's the signed limited pressing? She doesn't know. Probably lost in the move. Lost. $2,200 record. Gone. I didn't respond. Showed up to court prepared. She came with a lawyer. Some guy in a cheap suit who looked annoyed to be there. She wore business casual and had clearly been crying. Judge called us up. Her lawyer spoke first, tried to paint me as vindictive. Your Honor, my client admits she may have mistakenly taken some records during an emotional breakup, but the plaintiff is using the legal system to harass her. She's lost her job over this. She's offered to return what she has. My turn. My lawyer presented podcast footage showing the full collection in my apartment with timestamps. Screenshots of her admitting to storing them. Her best friend's messages admitting she had them and they were damaged. Police report. Market valuations for each record. Photos of my collection from my social media, clearly showing 30 records. The judge looked at her lawyer. Counselor, does your client have the 12 missing records, particularly the limited pressing valued at $2,200? Her lawyer whispered with her. Your Honor, my client believes they may have been accidentally donated to a thrift store during. She donated a $2,200 signed limited edition record to a thrift store? The judge looked skeptical, more whispering. Your Honor, emotions were high. The breakup was messy. My client may have acted rashly, but nothing, the judge cut him off. This is clear-cut theft and destruction of property. The plaintiff provided ample evidence of ownership and value. Your client admitted possession and her associate admitted to damages. Judgment, $5,800. Cost of the 12 missing destroyed records, plus the damaged cases on the 18 returned, plus my filing fees and lawyer costs. She burst into tears in the courtroom. Her lawyer tried to argue for a payment plan. Judge granted it. She asked to pay $300 a month until it's settled. Outside the courthouse, her whole family was waiting. Her mom approached me. I hope you're happy. You've ruined her. She ruined herself when she stole from me out of spite. Her best friend was there too. This is messed up, man. All because you couldn't handle her having friends? No, all because you ordered $340 wine on my tab at my anniversary dinner, and she decided stealing my property was appropriate payback. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. Her sister got in my face. She lost her job. Where's she supposed to get $5,800? Should have thought about that before she took my vinyl collection and destroyed half of it. She's got a payment plan. She'll figure it out. I walked away. Got in my car. Drove home. That night, her mom tried one more time. Long text about how I'm unforgiving and cruel, and how her daughter made a mistake, and how I should find it in my heart to forgive her. I replied, your daughter stole $4,000 worth of my property after I refused to fund her reunion dinner with another man on our anniversary. She refused to return it for weeks. When she finally offered to return some, half were destroyed and the most valuable ones were lost. The judge agreed this was theft. I'm done discussing this. Have a good night. Blocked the whole family. The 18 records she returned? Useless. Cases cracked, sleeves torn, some of the actual vinyl scratched to hell. My insurance is covering most of it since I won the court case, and that counts as proof of theft. The rare sign pressing? Gone forever. Probably actually did end up at a thrift store, knowing her spite level. Some random person got the deal of a lifetime for $3. I started rebuilding my collection. It'll take time and money, but whatever. At least she's paying for part of it, $300 at a time. Her job situation? Heard through mutual friends that she's working retail now. The nonprofit didn't take her back after the theft judgment. Turns out organizations working with kids don't love employees with recent theft convictions on their record. Who knew? Her best friend blocked me on everything after court. Good riddance. As for me, I'm okay. Processed the whole thing in therapy. Yeah, I got therapy. Needed to unpack why I tolerated being treated like that for so long. Learned some stuff about boundaries, about recognizing red flags, about not setting myself on fire to keep someone else warm. Would I do anything differently? Maybe file the police report sooner. Maybe not give her 24 hours to return the records before getting legal involved. But honestly, nah. I gave her chances. Multiple chances. She chose spite over reason every single time. The podcast episode got over 12,000 downloads. People keep messaging me with their own stories of partners who disrespected boundaries. It's depressing how common this is. Started seeing someone new. Early days, but she actually respects that I have hobbies and doesn't invite random dudes to our dates. Bar's pretty low these days, but we're clearing it. My collection is slowly rebuilding. Found a few good deals online. Won't ever get that specific signed pressing back. Those don't come up for sale often, but I've accepted it. Material things can be replaced. Self-respect can't. Final tally. Cost me $85 filing fee plus $500 lawyer consultation, roughly $600 in insurance deductibles. Cost her $5,800 judgment plus her job, her reputation in our social circle, plus $300 her month for the next 19 months. Was it worth it? Ask me that when she makes her 19th payment. To anyone dealing with something similar, document everything. Screenshots, photos, videos, whatever. People who disrespect you once will do it again. Trust your gut, and for the love of God, if someone orders $340 wine on your tab without asking, leave the restaurant immediately. That's it. I'm out. Time to move on for real.